So today's vlog topic is actually quite perfect for the current astrological events because right now Mercury is in retrograde. If you don't follow astrology, basically what that means is that transportation and communication can get a little bit funky during this time period. And it can also cause us to feel a little funky within ourselves. Mercury in retrograde is a great time to sort of reevaluate your life and your past and your choices, and also just become more introspective and sort of take care of yourself and go within. And during this time period, I actually lost the U-lock key to my bike. So right there is a conflict in transportation in my life because my bike is definitely my main form of transportation for getting around the city. But I didn't freak out too much about losing the key because I knew that there was a spare somewhere. I just wasn't sure where. And the most likely place for the spare to be, the last place I had seen it, is at my last apartment, which I shared with my ex. My ex and I are still really great friends, so it was not a problem for me to be able to contact him and ask to come over to look for the key. However, last week he was out of town touring with a friend's band and going to Bonnaroo and doing tons of exciting things. But he was not in town and available for me to come over and check for this key. So I kind of just put the bike on pause and decided that I was going to go ahead and walk for the remainder of the week. So any place that I would normally ride my bike to, I allowed for a little more time and I walked there. And it ended up being a really great blessing in disguise because it caused me to slow down and to really notice the things around me. So as I said, Mercury in retrograde is a great time to slow down, and I was definitely feeling the effects of needing a little time to myself. I just ended my yoga training, I just ended my improv training at Second City, and there's a lot of change going on in my life right now. So it was really great to have those introspective walks where I could listen to beautiful music and look at the beautiful flowering trees around me and notice the gorgeousness of the city in the spring and summer, and really just take that time for me and turn my walks into sort of a moving meditation. So not having my bike turned out to be a great thing for my spirit because I was able to sort of recharge during those walks. So when my ex got back into town, I went to his apartment and I found 8 to 10 spare U-lock keys. He's a very big bike enthusiast, so there's been a lot of U-locks in his past, and so we had a ton of keys to choose from. Unfortunately, not a single one fit my lock. So I kind of decided to put the U-lock on pause for a few days and just continued to enjoy my walks. Meanwhile, I met a friend for lunch and reached into my purse at some point to pull out my wallet and remembered I have all these spare U-locks keys in my purse. So I was telling her the story of how ridiculous it is that there's so many of these keys. I pulled every single one of them out of my purse to show her, shoved them back in my purse, went about my day, and then when I came home I thought, well, I should get these keys out of my purse before going on my next errand. So I'm pulling out these same handfuls that I just pulled out during lunch. And as I'm reaching in for the final handful of keys, I pulled out my key. The key that had gone missing 5 days earlier, that I'd turned my purse inside out looking for, was finally back in my life. And honestly, I really feel like it's the best scenario. It's the greatest example of you will find exactly what you need when you stop looking for it. And those times that you cannot find those things that you're looking for, it's because you needed something else. So I couldn't find my U-lock key for 4 to 5 days because I needed to take those walks and I needed to take that time for myself and be introspective and learn the lessons that I learned walking to and from the places that I was going. And now that those lessons have been learned, and now that I stopped looking for that thing that I'd been searching for, it's in my life again. Could you be happy for 100 days in a row? Follow me on Instagram @Michelle Shea to see how I do.